So 65th birthday, I was pondering what to do for my 65th, and it made me think back to my 50th birthday party and what a monumental thing that was. And I decided to take myself and a bunch of friends to Europe, and it turned into a giant shit show.
Welcome to Talk 50 to Me.
Talk 50 to me. Let's do it again.
Okay, when you say taking your friends to Europe for your 50th birthday was a shit show, are we talking like Brady Bunch when they went to Hawaii and they found that voodoo thing in the cave?
Yes, Constance, that's exactly what happened. So weird. It's like you were there. So I had just gotten an American Express Platinum card, and I thought charging $25,000 to it was smart. I think I paid it off last year, so that's about, probably was about $100,000 party. It was myself and about 8 other friends. And my deal was I paid for 2 other people's hotel rooms, and I paid for dinner every night for 10 people. So it was 3 days in London and 3 days in Rome. And the shit show was the fact that my crazy fucking psycho boss decided she wanted to come to the birthday party uninvited. So it was a few people that I worked with and a few of my oldest friends. And this psycho who was running roughshod over my entire party and just ruined it. And I was sober already 10 years, but a lot of my friends were not, and they just made up for her insane behavior by drinking. So I was just miserable the whole time. Not the whole time. She finally left early and everything was great. And I spent my actual 50th birthday in Topshop for 8 hours. So that made me happy.
Right. You could have been 8 hours in Topshop anywhere in the world, right? And you would have been happy.
Well, no, the one in London was special, and I'm very sad that it's closed. But I mean, I think it's important to celebrate. What did you do for your 50th? Yours was in COVID.
Yeah. I do think the 50th birthday party is definitely something you think about when you're 45, right? And I was always thinking about it and planning it and had all this great ideas that I was going to rent out a really small boutique hotel in Palm Springs, and it only had like 10 rooms, and I was just going to invite, weirdly, also like a 10, whether it was 10 couples or 10 people, that didn't matter. There was 10 rooms. And I had it all planned out, and I had put down the down payment, and then fucking
the world ended.
COVID and everything shut down. And that is when I was like, oh, that should have been a sign of how the beginning of my 50s were going to go.
That's very glass half empty, though, and you're not that gal.
Well, it was very much like, you can plan all you want, but life has other things in store for you, whether you like it or not. And then my 50th birthday, I was in a tiny house in Malibu, as far away from any other person besides my husband and my daughter, and could see people on the beach and wave to them across the way because nobody could be, close to each other. It was also hard because I was working on a show at the time, so I wasn't allowed to legally be around anyone outside of the show.
Right.
So I also had these crazy parameters. But yeah, I still think here.
You're going to do a do-over? Because my 60th was in COVID also. While you were doing your 50th, we had just met. So while you were doing your 50th, I was doing my 60th, and I had a private concert in my backyard that was catered for 30 people who wore masks, and it was fabulous.
And why wasn't I there?
We didn't really know each other that well yet. We had just met, and I probably was afraid to invite you because you were famous and shit. And I was like, she's so cool. And then I found out you weren't. You were just normal. So disappointing.
Oh, wait, you found out that I wasn't cool or that I was just normal?
I mean, you're still cool.
But okay, let's just be clear.
You're still cool, but you were slightly cooler when you were like, oh my God, I'll never be friends with her.
Unattainable friendship was cooler.
But you know who threw herself a really cool 50th birthday party?
Our next guest. So, you just turned 50. Now what? We are getting into it with today's guest. She loves to throw a kick-ass theme party, so it's no surprise that she threw herself and her partner a Studio 50 themed disco birthday party for their 50ths, plural, a few months ago, which we can't wait to hear about. Also, continuing to crush it in her career, returning to The Devil Wears Prada 2 almost 20 years later, started filming season 9 of 911. At one point, she was even juggling recurring roles on Station 19 and Truth Be Told at the same time. And here's a personal full circle moment. I first saw her on Broadway when she was starring in Rent as a teenager in the audience. Then I had the joy of working with her on the 24-hour plays and later on Unreal, and now she's here. We couldn't be happier to welcome the truly terrific Tracie Thoms.
Yay!
Hello, gorgeous woman.
Hey.
Hi. So,
can I correct one thing?
Please do.
I wasn't in the original cast of Rent. I was in the final cast.
Wait, so what
Really?
cast did I see? Did I see the original?
You saw if you saw it as a teenager, you saw the original.
Okay, well, I knew something was missing, and it clearly was you. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
It's still a full circle moment, and you're still a damn legend.
there you go. See,
Well,
That's
we're
all that
so
matters.
glad that you're finally with us today. And we do love to start off by asking people a question that is very new to you, which is, what is one word so far to describe your 50s?
Weird.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's genius.
Tell me why. What's weird? Give us the tea.
Well, first of all, there's the perimenopause of it all. The body is weird. Also, I don't feel like it's hard to believe that I'm 50. Not because I didn't think I would make it to 50. I just thought it would take longer to get to 50 than it is. Like, suddenly I'm here.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what? You know what I mean? Because 50 means a different thing to us now than it did when we were younger. You know, I mean, I think 50 in general in the world means something different than it did then for a myriad of reasons. But it's just like, I don't know what 50 is supposed to feel like. But whatever I thought it was supposed to feel like, it doesn't feel like.
Interesting.
Yeah, we had a guest on the podcast say, we're here for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? So we are going to be redefining what being 50 means, because specifically this generation, we're showing up differently in our 50s.
Right, exactly. Because 50 was kind of like old. When I
Yeah.
was little. My grandmother was 50 and she seemed old. But of course, I was a child, so it's all relative. You know what I mean? Maybe she didn't seem old. But my mother would tell me that her mother, my grandmother, was old at 50.
But it has changed.
Stayed in the house old at 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's changed though. I'm 65, and when I turned 50, it was really old, and I felt really invisible. And I think because your generation and Gen X is talking about being 50 and how cool it is, that it actually has a totally different patina than it used to have. Like, it was old when I turned 50. I was like, fuck. I mean, I
Life
woke
is
up the
over.
other day at 65 and was like, oh shit, am I old now? I don't know. You just, yeah.
Right. You know, but then, you know, 911, I worked with Angela Bassett, who's like, she's, 67 or something? I mean, it's crazy. Maybe it's not that old. Let me Google it.
Let me Google it.
No, but she is such a great example. She is ageless.
But she is. I literally saw her one day coming out of her trailer. It was raining. She had things in her hand, and I heard a slip. I heard like, oh God, someone's falling. And I look over, and there's Angela Bassett falling down the stairs. And I'm like, oh my God. And she landed in a push-up position and pushed herself up.
No, she did not.
And picked up her stuff. And it was like, I said, I would have turned to dust. I would have turned to dust. She said, oh, did you see me fall? I said, I think I did, but you seem fine. And she just went into work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like nothing happened.
That is what
Saved
I'm
the
saying.
sweater.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
right?
different.
We're showing up differently, and we are setting the new example. And so that brings me to also, you had said that turning 50 is getting a real seat at the grown-ups table. So like, what does that mean for you?
Well, I mean, I guess I can't Yeah, she's 67. I wasn't lying. I had to make sure that was right. I couldn't lie on my girl. Um, I couldn't lie on my girl to make sure. But yeah, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? I look at her, I work with her, and I can't believe it. So it is very inspirational being around someone that youthful. So she makes me feel, really excited about the future, but also, I'm going to answer your question, by the way, I didn't forget it.
Oh, I know you are.
And it's just everything is different. Every idea we have about aging is different right now. But what I mean about having a seat at the real grown folk, I mean, you can't lie and say you're young at 50. You know what I mean? You can't normally say, well, I'm just young. I'm still young. No, you're grown. It's like, it's official. You are grown. At 40, you could still kind of be like, you're young. But at 50, it's like, no. You're grown, and there's no way of getting around it. So you have to have real conversations with your partners, with your friends about like this next chapter of our lives. You know what I mean? And maybe we're the generation that lives to 100 more than the generation before. Like maybe we live longer. We don't know yet. Time will tell. We seem like we have so much technology now and access to medicines if we can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another conversation. But but aging is different. But yet, and because we're embracing it, and because I think we're not just ready to just crawl into our graves, we're having the conversations about how do we share information, how do we help each other, go through this moment.
Yeah. I also like the word grown.
I know. I was going to say I like that better than aging. I'm grown. I am fucking grown. Do you think it's also changing the way you have conversations with friends? Have you noticed that instantly you sort of leveled up to a different place with your friendships also?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are certain things that I think as we get older, growner, we know what we'll tolerate anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, I've done that enough. I'm not tolerating that energy anymore, without addressing it, without trying to like reframe it or get rid of it if it doesn't serve you anymore. I think as we grow, we learn ourselves more, and I'm still learning myself. Every year we do a word for the year. My word for this year was surprise. I just want to surprise myself and allow myself to be surprised all year. So hence I'm doing this concert in Indianapolis when I'm terrified of concerts.
Yeah, can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, I started doing this cabaret back in 2010, also against my will. The artistic director of a theater in Baltimore, Center Stage, just kind of called me one day. I was like, "Hey, kid, you're doing a cabaret in our cabaret series." I'm like, "That's weird. I don't do cabarets." I had done one at that point that my father made me do, like an Italian restaurant in Baltimore. She's like, "Yes, you are. You're already on the list. You're doing it." And I'm like, "Well," and this is 2010, so Rent came out in 2005, and I closed Rent on Broadway in 2008. So it made sense that people would want me to do one then, but I had to figure it out. So I called my friend Billy Porter. That's a name drop, I know. I was like, "Billy," and he was like, "Okay, let's call James Sampliner, my musical director, and let's get going." And we just really put together this show. We wanted it to be timeless, and it's a lot of like soul songs from like the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s, but it's like, like Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway and Michael McDonald and Bonnie Raitt and John Legend, and like kind of timeless songs that you never get sick of, I put it together in 2015, and then I did it again in I put it together in 2010, then did it again in 2013 in LA, and then I just brushed it off and did it again in New York this year, and now I'm in Indianapolis, and it's, and it's like, I get terrified. I kind of gauge everything by what I want to hear. Like, do I want to hear me sing 13 songs in a row? I wouldn't.
I do.
Yeah, we do.
Some people do. So I have to get out of my own way and realize that, I'm not always in charge, and I have to surrender to certain things, and maybe we'll find beautiful experiences on the other end of that surrender, and learning that, doing things that scare you are where the rewards come in, but that's also growth, because
It's also such a great lesson for people who are in their 50s to show that there is no age limit on doing things, and there's no age limit on surprising yourself. Like, what are some other things that are on your, do you have like a little list of other things that you want to do as your surprises this year?
Well, then it wouldn't be a surprise.
Your first year of your 50s?
Exactly. I'm not like planning it. I'm just like allowing, things to happen and trying
saying
to
yes.
Not fight. Yeah, saying yes, because I've been asked to do these concerts before and I've said no. I'm like, no, I'm not really singing like that anymore. No, I'm not in vocal shape. No. And those things may be true, but this time I was like, I just have to just do it.
Right.
And see what happens, just see what I learn,
I think we talk a lot about how in our 50s, Heidi is in her 60s, that when you come into this age, there is a little bit of power of that being grown. Like, I can make my own decisions now, and my decision is to either say yes or no.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And be okay with how the person reacts to that decision and that choice.
So, a few more boundaries.
Yeah, a few more boundaries.
I find myself saying no to things. Sometimes that surprises me when people say, come do this. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I normally would have said yes.
Yeah, I definitely didn't learn.
In order to people please, you know what I mean? And
yes.
Being like, no, I can actually say no to things and not show up to everything. And
has it been nice to have this milestone getting into this decade with your partner? Has that...
Yeah, he's 9 days. We're 9 days apart, same year. So, but right on the cusp. I'm a Leo and he's a Virgo, which is interesting. So he's the end of August, and I'm like August 19th, and he's the 28th. But yeah, he had a week of being like, "Hey, old lady." I was like, "You got 9 days of that. I'll let you have it for 9 days." But yeah, it is because. I don't know. There's something really kind of poetic about being like the same age as your partner. You know what I mean? It seems like it's kind of rare. I don't know a lot of people who are the same age as their partner. Somebody's always older. So we have all the same references. Like everything happened to us at the same time. We experienced everything at the same age that you've experienced through life. So that's something, there's comfort in that. And knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that I'm, because my ex-partners have been younger than me, what I mean? And I always felt it. I always felt like my last boyfriend was like 6 years younger than me. And I always felt it. He was like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, it does. It may not, like 20, he was like 27 and I was like 32, 33 at the time. He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, it's going to matter. There's going to come a time when it's going to matter. You know what I mean? And then when I'm like 36, I'm like, what are we doing? Because the baby thing, are we doing it or not? Because like I have a TikTok on it, you don't, and I know you're not thinking about it because A, you're a man, and B, you're younger. So, and those things did come up, you know what I mean? And but being that we're both at the same place at the same time is really, really great. And we can have important conversations at the same time. I'm like, we get our colonoscopy. Let's do it. Like that.
Yeah, couples colonoscopy. That should be a whole business.
Yeah,
I know.
What about girlfriends? Do you have girlfriends that are also entering their 50s that you might have chats with?
For some reason, 1975 was a busy year. There are so many of us turning 50. I have so many friends turning 50. One of my friends turned 50 and just had a baby.
Oh, shit.
So she's on that journey. And I'm like, wow.
Wow, that's a level of tired I can't even imagine.
I can't. I'm exhausted thinking about it.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I mean, I'm tired, but the being pregnant actually gives you energy in a weird way.
Because it's giving you hormones.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Because it's giving you hormones, that you're lacking at that time in your life. It's your hormones are happening because of that. So that's the menopause part of it.
But we talk about like how great it is to surround yourself later in life with girls who are at the same age you are so that you can have the discussions because you're ready to have those big, open, honest, authentic discussions that maybe you were ashamed to have when you were younger,
Well, yeah, absolutely. I have a friend who I hadn't seen in a long time, and she knows we're about the same age. And she was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hey, oh my god, so great to see you." She's like, "Hi, are you on the drugs yet?" Like literally, she went right into it. She was like, "Perimenopause, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Are you on the drugs? Take the drugs. Get the help."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh," she said, "I'm doing this to everybody I know around my age. We have to just confront it and do it because we don't have to suffer." And I was
You
like,
do
"Okay,
not.
well,
There's
let
so
me."
many women that suffered before us. Like we can finally take that part out and not have to
Yeah.
suffer.
I didn't get on the drugs till 65, 64, like after
Wow.
menopause. And I don't know what the fuck I was waiting for, but yeah.
Well, you were waiting for people to talk about it and not be ashamed of it.
Yeah. Well, and to get permission.
Yeah. And then not feel like you're cheating or something or whatever the bullshit we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and figure this out. HRT, let's do it. I mean, like, let's get into it.
Let's get into
I
it.
agree. All I do when I take my underwear off, the only thing I care about is my patch still on.
Right.
Because that's all I care about now. I don't care about anything else. I'm just like, is it still there? Did it come off? Is it okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Everybody's okay.
We're okay. We're here.
We're all okay.
We're stabilizing. We're stabilizing.
Yeah, stabilizing. What feels like the biggest challenge to you? I know you are just barely 50, but like, do you already feel different?
I don't feel like a switch went on when I turned 50 necessarily. But I feel this push and pull in my brain of I'm still young and I'm old, right? So there's certain things I'm like, I want to do that. And I'm like, I'm too old to do that. Wait, no, I'm not. Whether it be simple things like jumping off of a step or something like that, or like going to the club. I went to the club.
Yes.
So me and my man took our younger friend because her brother had never been to a club.
Oh.
He's like 19. And I know the owners, and he's like, sure, I'll get them in. It's kind of a young club anyway. He just can't. We'll put a wristband on him or something. He can't get a drink or whatever. But you guys can sit in the VIP section. And he had never been to the club. So here, me and Eugene are like the chaperones in this club. There was one older lady I saw, and I think they were there for a birthday party. And we're like, oh, wow, this is like really young, Okay. So we're in the corner like we're the parents, fully feeling we're the parents, what I mean? And this kid is like, who's 19, is like, what are we supposed to do? Just like dance? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, you just dance to watch. And then I just started like going for it. I was like getting my life, like we were at that rap party.
Yep.
Me and Constance were at this rap party for our show, and like we lost our minds. I turned around, she was on the floor, like we're getting. These kids don't even party like we do. We partied and just like had a good time. Like I think a lot of younger people, because they're so glued to technology, they forget how to interact with people.
Yeah. I do think 50 is when I turned 50, those were my thoughts. Like I sort of lost what my relevance was. And I think that's part of, what's baked into us about turning 50. Yeah. Like it's the official, Can I wear that? Can I do this? Can I go here? Am I allowed to do this? And I went through all of that also until I hit 60 and was like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm doing that.
Yeah, and luckily I know a lot of people who are well in their 50s who I see them at every party. Like they're just like, I'm out here. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting my life. Like, okay, I can still do these things. Okay, great. I could still wear flattering clothes or whatever, as long as I feel good in it. You know what I'm saying? I could wear whatever, it doesn't matter. But it does change the framing of things when you turn 50 until you really get into it. Like I still feel like it's a suit that doesn't quite fit me yet.
Because you're a newbie.
Because I'm a newbie.
You're a newbie 50.
But that's okay. I mean, look, you know how to celebrate your birthdays like nobody's business. And so it does.
It's the last one.
No, don't make that the last one.
No, I said you never know when it's your last.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
You get hit by a bus next week and it was your last birthday and you didn't do shit. You know what I mean? I was like, celebrate yourself.
Agree. Agree. I always, someone said this the other day. I always think of, if I were on my deathbed, would I be mad about this? Would I be mad that I ate that donut? Fuck no.
Yeah.
I'd be glad that
No.
I ate that donut. You got to
You'd
eat
be
all
mad
the
if you didn't eat the
donuts.
donut on your deathbed. You know what I mean? Celebrate the things. You know what I mean? And my birthday parties are kind of like a way that I celebrate my friends and my friends. I like throw a party for my friends. I'm like working it. I'm not like sitting in the corner like, come see me. People are like, I couldn't even find you at your birthday. I was like, oh yeah, because I was over there fixing that thing. Oh yeah, I was over there. I was over there supporting this person or whatever. You know, they're like work, and I love it. You know, I love it. I love giving people experiences and creating opportunities and spaces for people to meet each other and to have a good time and forget about all the bullshit that's going on right now, because there's plenty of bullshit going on right now.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, how did it feel to go back to do Devil Wears Prada? Like, what did I say? Was it 20 years ago? Yeah.
Well, it was exactly 20. I found out I booked Devil Wears Prada 1 on my 30th birthday.
Oh, wow.
My 30th birthday, I found out I booked that. So, and I was shooting around my 50th birthday. I didn't actually shoot on the day, but it was really weird because the first scene of the first day of the shoot of Devil Wears Prada was me and Annie, right? So that was day one for everybody. Shot one for everybody was us. And it's like the camera crew is the same, the director, the writer, the producers, me, it's all, the people behind the camera are the same guys. And it was like, it felt very familiar, like putting on an old jacket that you thought you lost. You find it in the back of the closet, you put it on, you're like, yeah, I love this jacket, And it still fits, those things. But yeah, the table read, I felt the table read, everybody was really nervous. Everybody was nervous. We're like, are we really doing this? Is this happening? Including Meryl Streep was like, oh God, okay. I mean, I hope it's great. I think it's going to be great.
I'm sure
it's going to be great. I don't think anyone's worried about it. But I'm curious because all of you, right? Like, did it feel like everybody was just bringing a little bit more of life and experience with them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting because I didn't realize how much older than Anne Hathaway I was the first time. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, she's like 42. And I'm like 50. We're like playing besties. You know what I mean? I'm like, it didn't feel that different then, but now it changes. You know what I mean? Because she and Emily are still like stick skinny. They're in their A-list bodies, and I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm curvy now, so deal with it. Lily done filled out. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Lily is grown.
Yeah, she's grown.
She's grown.
Lily's a grown-ass woman, okay?
Do you find yourself sort of, are you leaning in a little bit more to a mentorship role on sets when you're on sets now? Do you find that happening?
Yeah, I think it happens naturally. People just ask me things, you know what I mean? I just feel like, I've always kind of been in a mentor space. Even when I was younger, I just would talk to people younger than me. But I realized that I just have a certain amount of, I don't know, veteranship. I guess I'm a veteran now. I've been in the business for 24 years. I guess that counts.
It better fucking count.
And feeling like I kind of know what I'm doing, even though I still don't know what I'm doing. I mean, like, I think that's part of being an actor. Like, do we ever know what we're doing?
Nobody knows what they're doing.
No one knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? But accepting that I don't know what I'm doing rather than being afraid of the fact that I don't know what I'm doing. Just knowing that's part of the gig. We're pretending to be people we're not. I mean, it's not really achievable. We just get as close to it as we can and try to tell as much truth as we can. And just letting go of that, you know what I mean? And being way more, I used to be so anxiety filled, and I still have it, but it used to be really, really bad. I would just be racked with fear all the time.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm like, and you get addicted to that fear, to that feeling, and you keep like perpetuating it and creating scenarios and catastrophizing things. But it's like, no, you're okay. It's okay, actually.
That's awesome.
So do you have some advice for the next generation?
Since you're a newbie 50, how should the next generation handle entering the Elder Dome?
Not the
Constance
elder
hates
dome.
that, but I like the elder dome.
Well, you got to find a balance because I think some people are so afraid of aging that they forget to live their life. You know what I mean? They're just like, every decision they make is about, oh, my skin, my hair, my body, my butt, but they're just constantly worried about all that stuff. And I'm like, we are supposed to age. That's weird, And I did an episode of 911 with Radon Chong, right? And Radon Chong, of course, was like this hottie in like the 80s, you know what I mean? And we were talking about it. She was like, it would be weird if I walked in here and looked the same as I did in Commando. That would be strange because and that's not how life is supposed to go. You're supposed to age and change, and that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? And so many people are afraid of change because there's a stigma on aging for women specifically, not as much for men. Men are supposed to age and, be a zaddy. But we're supposed to look like teenagers our whole lives, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm grateful that I'm on a show, 911, where the women on our show, we all have grown-ass women bodies. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yep. We need more of that. We need more of that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have one
We're
last.
gonna ask you one last question.
We got to
believe
let
it
you
or not.
go. Got to let you out of here.
So it's from our surprise question jar, so we don't know what it says.
Okay.
So
So you can't
gird
get
your
mad.
loins.
Gird my loins. Where's your loins?
Do you have a nickname for your vagina? Do you have a nickname for your vagina? Let's go.
I wish I did. I don't.
You got to get one.
I don't. I got to make one up.
Make one up right now. I'm going to give you some time on the clock. Ready?
Oh, God.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
You're distracting her. You're distracting her.
I'm gonna call my vagina the pleasure palace.
Oh yes,
perfect. Your pee pee.
My pleasure palace.
Step into my pee pee.
We love you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me in my weird hotel room in Indianapolis.
That's all right.
Good
people.
Good luck tonight
Break a leg.
in your show. It's going to be amazing. And think of us next time you get down with your TPP.
Let's not. Don't think of
You
us.
down with TPP?
I don't think you need to think of us.
Yeah, you know me.
Oh my God, you down with TPP? Yeah, you know me.
Thank you so much, Tracie. We appreciate you.
Bye, Tracie. Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Every time I see Tracie or hear Tracie talk, I can't stop smiling. She has such an energy that I've been so fortunate to have in my life for so long. I just love her so much. And to see her showing up at the grown-up table she is showing up different, even though she's just barely gotten here, and how she said that don't fear aging.
Don't be afraid to age or you'll...
Some people are so afraid of aging, they forget to live.
We like when our producer steps in.
Yeah,
Some people are so afraid to age that they'll forget to live. That is so profound and so true. I say all the time, you're going to miss all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to miss the good stuff. You're going to miss all the stuff. Even the bad stuff is the good stuff. And it's why you have to stay present. Don't go back. Don't look forward. Just stay here. Stay here now and be happy. And it's really funny to talk to someone that's just entering 50 because I do remember all the things that she's feeling. Like, can I wear this? Can I do this? Can I go here? Is the club okay for me? I remember feeling that way. There's this weird search for your new relevance that happens at 50. And I only think it happens because of all of how society tells you you're supposed to feel at 50.
Well, it's the number. It's the number that has been held over our heads our
like
entire lives.
You're old.
Yeah.
And so you definitely go through this little search of relevance and then you kind of figure it all out. And
Right.
I want to talk to her again at 55.
Right, where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It is different.
And she'll probably have a very different name for her vagina then, too.
I don't have a name for my vagina, by the way.
I mean, I just call it like, the hey nani, my hey nani nani or.
No, I don't know that. That's what you call it?
Yeah.
And are you like when you're walking around in your...
I don't talk to my vagina. I mean.
But I don't have a name for it.
No? Your kitty?
No.
You just say vagina?
I don't just say anything.
You say, Russ, would you like to enter my vagina this evening?
No, I definitely don't say that.
No? Okay, well.
But I'm going to, that's my homework. My homework is I'm going to come up with a name for my vagina.
I would really appreciate that if you have. Well,
Aaliyah, do you have a name for your vagina? Yeah, see, she doesn't either.
The youngins don't have a name for their vagina. Well, I would like
Did you just call me young?
to
so
go.
Kind.
Yeah, no. Everybody go home and come up with a name for your vagina. Before we leave you today, we want to shout out a couple of our favorite one words for turning 50 from our Instagram friends. We have Elizabeth Sophia at lizard_J said her one word for turning 50 was disoriented.
Truth.
And Michelle Syme at michelle.seim said frightening. And that's why we're here, to make it less
frightening,
right?
Yeah. So do you want more Talk 50 to Me? Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our email list to get Talk 50 to Me updates and announcements. Do you have a question? DM us on Instagram at Talk 50 to Me or email us at talk50tomepod@gmail.com. Like and subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye now.
Talk 50 to Me with Heidi Clements and Constance Zimmer is produced by Alex Beatty, recording engineer Aaliyah Walker, editing by Zelene Hassi, music by Matt Friedman, production services provided by A4S Podcast Studios, a Talk 50 to Me LLC production distributed by the Forward Network.